to piano lesson number 21. Yay! Kind of been a while since I posted up a video. So, I thought up something that I've been teaching my students, and I really think it would help a lot of you guys be able to play better. So, have you ever felt like you're kind of like stuck on the keyboard, like you're trying to hit a note up here, or you're trying to hold one note and then go to another, and it just feels like you're just stuck, or it's like you're trapped, and it's like the piano isn't a very easy instrument to get around or something. So what I'm going to try to do in this lesson is build up your posture so that you can relax and you can move around the keyboard easier, just like the professional piano players. Okay, so you want to follow kind of like a step process in your mind every time you sit down at the piano, so that this becomes like routine and then you don't even have to think about it, it just happens. So first thing you want to do is adjust the bench so that you are sitting on the front half of it. Why? Because you need to put your body weight into the keys. If you're sitting on the back half like this, then you're trying to play like this, and it's like you're fighting against yourself. So you want to put yourself on the front half of the bench, good, like that, and then just kind of push forward, kind of like football or something, body checking people, haha. Well, I guess that'd be hockey. I'm not much of a football person myself, I like hockey. Anyway, yeah, I know, stereotypical Canadian, right? Likes hockey. Anyway, so we're going to use all our body weight to push into the keys instead of using our finger muscles to do it. I've been reading a lot on physiological piano playing, about how to avoid tendinitis and keep your muscles relaxed and stuff like that, so I'm going to incorporate some of that into this as well. Okay, so you guys are going to be the beneficiaries of my reading. Oh, don't you like that? Okay, so front half of the bench, and now the next thing is, you also have to make sure the bench is in the right spot so that the keyboard, where the keyboard ends, if you just push down, it should be right on your kneecaps, around there. So you want your knees just slightly under the wood, or wherever the piano ends. So it's kind of like you push down, with do like a little straight line down with your hand, and then follow it down, and it should just hit the front part of your knee. If you're like in here and it's in your thigh, or if it's like in space and your leg isn't underneath that, then it shows that you're too far or too close to the keyboard. So just adjust it however it works. Now, I wonder if you're laughing because you're like, he's going to talk about posture to me? He's going to talk about posture to me. Look at his posture. Look at this. He's like this. He looks like the Hunchback of Notre Dame's like great grandson without a huge, well, I guess I kind of do have hump in my back. Anyway, the reason why I have bad posture, now this isn't an excuse, well it sort of is. I needed glasses, and I didn't get them until I was 14 because I kept fighting my parents, and every time they'd ask if I needed glasses, I'd say, no, I don't need glasses, I can see fine. But then when I'd look at I couldn't see the sheet music, so when I'd be playing, I'd be like this, trying to play the music, because it had to be this close for me to be able to see it. Like that close, otherwise. So I developed this as my habit. So I've been slowly getting out of that. Anyway, off topic. Okay, so first thing is bench, because different people are going to adjust it to their size. So if you're living with someone else and they're playing the piano too, chances are it's going to be moving around a lot. Okay, so check the bench, check your knees. Now next thing is, hold your hands up like this. Yeah, I know. Doesn't this look cool? Woohoo! I'm a marionette. I have strings. No. Okay, so the key to this is, a lot of people will tell you, you need to curve your fingers like this when you're playing the piano. They have to be really curved. But what that does is, it's not really that comfortable. Now I'll explain this in more detail. What happens is, shake your hands up just like this. Yes, please shake right at the computer. Just don't hit your monitor or anything. And then loose. Okay, so would you believe me that my hands are loose? I hope so. See how there's a natural curve in my finger here? Like that? It just goes down. I don't know if you can see that. It goes down, and I'm not like tense or anything, it's just completely relaxed. Now what if I went like this? Are my hands relaxed? Do you believe me? You're probably thinking, is this guy crazy? Answer your question. Yes, I am. Slightly. Okay, now, so that's obviously not relaxed. Now, what about this? Does this look relaxed to you? No, right? I'm pulling in now. Before I was pushing out, now I'm pulling in. So I was using the top muscles to push out here, and I'm using the bottom muscles of your forearm to pull in here. Now when we do this, we're tensing up the muscle, which is stressing the tendon. So, if we play like this, we're not relaxed because we're pulling in our fingers. And what that does is it tensens up the bottom part of your arm, the bottom part of your forearm, which tensens the tendon right here. Now, one of the fundamental ways to avoid tendinitis, according to the guy, I can't remember his name. He had a PhD and a lot of other crap, and he was a professor at some university in the States, I think Virginia or something. And he headed up some department about physiological things for people who play musical instruments and stuff like that. Anyway, one of the key things is you don't want two muscles fighting each other in static motion. So think of two huge guys that are like clones, and they're like, "Rah, my name is Claude," and this guy's like, "Rah, my name is Rex." So Rex and Claude are going to have a little tug-of-war here. So this guy's just like, "Rah," and he starts pulling, and this guy starts pulling, and they're like pulling apart with a big huge rope. Pulling, 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 and guess what? They're not going anywhere. They're just going to stay like, "Rah," for like days. So eventually, after they're pulling and they're not getting anywhere because they're basically exactly equal, what's going to happen? What's going to break eventually? If both are equal, they'll both get tired equally, and the only thing that will take the stress is the rope. So to change this into human terms, each muscle group on the top and the bottom are like the two like big buff guys. They're pulling tug-of-war. So if one of these guys is pulling here and one is pulling here, then the stress goes to the tendon, and what happens to the tendon on a molecular level is it actually starts shredding and getting holes in it and then ripping apart and kind of like unraveling, just like a rope almost would. And then what happens is you get a burning sensation, and then it hurts to move, and it's really, really bad. And then the worst part is, because your tendons don't get much circulation from blood, it takes a really, really long time for them to heal, because the blood doesn't go in and out to circulate and all that other stuff. So what happens is, it takes a long time, you have to stop because any motion just tears it, and then slowly it heals over, but it forms in scar tissue, so you have little scar tissue spots all throughout your tendons, and they don't go away very easily. Then what happens is if you try and do it again, because the scar tissue isn't very strong compared to what was there originally, you go around and you play again in the same fashion you did before that caused it, and it's gonna shred and rip, and the tissue will just fall out, and then you're back to square one again. And it's like this continuous cycle, and it just devastates people. So that is caused by excess stress on the tendons or too much tension. So when we curve our fingers like this too much, then we're pulling in with this muscle in the bottom. Now when we're asked to lift our fingers up to play, so we're curving and lifting, what's happening is we're trying to hold the finger curve with this muscle, and then we're trying to pull up while we hold with this muscle. So what's happening is the top muscle's pulling up and this one's pulling down, and then the only thing left is the tendon. So sure, it might not hurt to do it once or twice or 100 times, but once you get into higher levels of piano, guess what? I think it was 28,000 something odd repetitions per hour that a piano player at high levels averagely doing. So that's 28,000 times that you're going to do it in an hour, and some people play like 4 or 5 hours at that high level. So what do you think is going to happen if it's not good for you? Tendinitis, which great players like, I think it was, can't remember all of them now. think it might have been, but I'm not 100% sure. I think one of them was Horowitz. He had problems with it. I know Rachmaninoff had tendinitis. He apparently was doing the same thing with the fingers curved like that. So the only time you want to have a really, really curved finger is with Baroque music, and you want to use it sparingly. You don't want to be like that when you're playing all your scales really fast and stuff like that. Okay, so what you want to do is you shake your hands out like this. This is the first step, and then relax them and see that natural curve. Then just keep it relaxed, kind of like you're lowering it down, like a crane is lowering down a package. And then it's just going to kind of touch them, and then you're going to let those fingers support, but your hand is still completely relaxed. Then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to look at the floor, and then you're going to make your arm kind of level with the floor. Okay, good. So now, I can push in, it's nice and flat, and it doesn't hurt my arms because my fingers are relaxed and they're not pushing each other. Okay, now, next thing. Also, you probably know somewhat what gravity is. Gravity is holding this piano down, it's holding me on this bench. If I wasn't, the camera would be, if there was no gravity, the camera would be floating around and I'd be trying to like tape it to walls and stuff and be like, yo, what's up? Anyway. So, we're going to use gravity to help us play the piano too. So, think of like your arms like dead. Like they're just dead weight. Okay, now one of them comes alive, sort of, and it's just like, whoa, and then it's going to pick up this arm here, like that. Now feel how heavy that feels. There's some significant weight there, wouldn't you agree? Now watch this. Now, that wasn't supposed to be pretty, I just hit any random keys, but that proves that there's significant weight to push the keys down on your arms. Okay, so we're going to use that weight and harness it, but we're going to control it. Okay, so now, okay, say I have this pen here, or Sharpie. I'm a Sharpie, aren't I? Anyway, so say we have this Sharpie here. Now, if I said that I was going to drop this, and which way would it go? Would it go straight down towards the ground, or would it go somewhat like this? Or like, whee, and gravity is being all variable and moving it around in different ways. So it would be like, that wouldn't make any sense, would it? No. You know why? Because gravity moves in one straight direction. I'm going to grab that Sharpie again because I need it. Okay, so gravity moves in one direction. Now, some people decide to play below the keys. So here's my first example. If there's a button on this bench here, what would the best way to be playing it? Would if someone went up to a button and pushed it like this, or they came up to the button and they came from below and pushed it like that. So they're pushing down like this and hooking their arm on to push the button. Which way would be easier, just pushing it or hooking it? Okay, according to me, and about 15 or so, maybe 20 of my other students, we have come to the conclusion that this way is easier. Why? Because you don't have to hook the arm with your muscle here and let that stress your tendon. Just do this and see how it feels on your arm. It kind of hurts, or it feels like you're doing something. But if you're pushing like this, it's a lot different, as long as you're not pushing like that, because that hurts. This hurts your finger. Okay, so what we want to do is push it from above. Do you know why? Because we can use gravity to help us push from above. All of our arm weight is being pushed down, versus this way, our arm weight is hanging down this way, and then we're using our muscle to compensate for the weight and pull it down like this. So if we come from above, we're using all our arm weight to help us. From below, it's hindering us, and we have to make up for it with our muscle. Okay. So, that being said, gravity moves in one straight line. So look, if I'm above the keys and I threw, say I have my Sharpie here and I threw it towards the piano, it could land on the keys, right? I don't want to do that because I don't want to break them, but if you could see that if I threw it with an F4, so it would kind of go like this, right? That makes sense? Yeah. So what if I put my arm like in that same motion? Now I can push the gravity and the weight of my arm, helping gravity, whatever. As you can see, I don't script my lessons. I don't even go back and edit them or anything. Just laugh as it happens. Yeah, I'm lazy. Okay, anyway. So we just push into the keys like this. Yeah, and see, all of it, all the weight's just going straight into the keys. Now, what if it's below like this? Now, I'm sitting on a taller bench because this is the best height for you. The best height for a bench is if your elbow is above the keys, but most of them aren't, so you'll have to compensate with your elbows. So, anyway, we don't want to be underneath the key, because guess what happens? If I throw my weight here, do you think it's possible for the weight to go back up and then go back down without any muscle helping us? But that would be like saying that if I threw this pen down this way, then it would magically go up like this and then into the keys. So if I went like that, it's going to come up like this and land. No. But it could go like that. I could throw it this way and it would land. So that's what we're going to try and do. So if you can notice your arm below the keys, it's impossible for it to come back up and then go back down into the keys. So, start off, you take like a book, and then you put your hand, and then you just make sure that your hand is above that book. That's like the threshold of where gravity can help you. So if your hand is above that, you're helped. If you're not, then you're hindered. Helped, hindered, helped, hindered. Hindenburg. Haha, I just wanted to say that. Anyway. Okay, so that is pretty much how that works. So we want to stay above the white keys. Or if we're also going to be playing the black keys, above the black keys too. Because otherwise then anything we play on the black keys won't be helping us either. So first thing is, hold up the hands, drop them into the keys, keep them relaxed, then flatten your arms out with the floor, kind of keep them parallel, and then now to make sure our hands are above the white keys, we're not going to pull our shoulders up. Here's an example. If there's someone in front of you and you wanted to elbow them in the head quickly, would you go like this at them? Yeah, I'm going to elbow you. No. Probably not, because your shoulder can only pull up so far, and you have to pull your whole arm up with that muscle, and it kind of it's not really built that way. But what if you'd probably just go like this, right? To raise your arm up and hit them in the face, then you'd like lean into them or whatever. However you're going to do it. I'm not exactly like a martial artist or anything. Or I don't even really know the proper way to elbow someone, because I haven't done it before actually. Anyway, so you just want to pull your elbow up, because that's the quickest way to pull your elbow up, and it also takes the least amount of effort. Because try going like this, and try going like this. Which is easier to you? To me, it's a lot easier to go like this. Sort of like that little chicken dance that goes like da 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 da. Anyway, so you're gonna pull your elbows out, and think of it like that's like your bubble also. Now you'll see my posture is beginning to look more and more like how the professional piano players look. Okay, you can stop laughing now. Alright, so we start with this. Now we're going to slowly drop our hands in. Good. Then we level out, and then we're going to push our elbows out. Good. And now we've created our little bubble, and our arms are above the white keys. So now we can push in. And then the last thing we have to do, or there's two more things. The next thing we have to do is drop our shoulders and relax them so that we're not stressing out our shoulder muscles. Because that creates like tension, and it just kind of stifles the whole process. It makes you uncomfortable. So we're just going to drop our shoulders, and when that happens, usually our arms might drop a little bit more, so we might have to adjust with our elbows. So just keep adjusting until your arms are above the keyboard by using your elbows to move in and out. and then your shoulders are relaxed, and then last thing is you don't want to be like with a super curved spine like this, because what that does is it puts like all the weight on a kind of crushing angle, and then you don't want to be like this because it does the same thing. You want to be kind of like halfway between. Keep your back straight, lean towards, there you go, and then drop shoulders and then elbows up. Does that look good? I can't see the keys because I took my glasses off and I was too lazy to put my contacts on. Okay, so that's that. So it's bench, knees, lift your arms up, drop your hands into the keys slowly, level your arms out with the floor, raise your elbows out, lower your shoulders, raise your back, and get ready to play. How does that go? I found that in the different key than I normally do. Anyway. Okay, so yeah. I'm also starting to, I switched my job. I used to be like a 3D photogrammetric mapper, and I'd have to sit at like this desk and like look at all these lines and stuff. And I had to use my fingers a lot, so I couldn't really practice piano very much. But I actually switched my job now, and I'm pretty much a full-time, or not full-time, but I've got 26 students, I think. I'm pretty sure 26 right now, and they seem to be getting more and a lot, so I was able to get away from that job that was hurting my arms, although I liked my boss, he was pretty cool. But yeah, now that I'm just teaching piano all the time, so it's fun. And I'm getting back into playing again, but my hands still ain't what they used to be. But I'm going to be learning pieces again, so maybe I'll post a couple of them up once I learn them. Okay, and I also finished that contest report, or progress report thing. So only 3 people entered. I was kind of disappointed. I thought there'd be more of you, but I guess not everyone has a digital camera, or maybe they're a little camera shy. Anyway, so I'm going to be making a short little video for each of those people that entered and kind of like critique them, kind of like explain what was really good about them and what they could improve on. Okay, so you can expect to see those 3 videos come out almost simultaneously. Probably by next Sunday sometime. I'll make them in between whenever I'm not teaching. Okay, so I also have the next lesson planned too. It's going to be about it's more about playing easy. This is just about getting your body in the right position so that you can relax and play lazy, so you don't have to use your muscles much. So just use your arm weight. And your body weight that's already there. Let gravity do the work. Okay, anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it all, and I will see you guys later. I don't know why I did that. That was really stupid. Okay, see ya.